Welcome back to SDRTK, and today we're going to take a look at a newer plugin for OBS Studio called Wind Capture Audio. Let's check it out. Now, what's very interesting about this new plugin is that it allows you to capture the audio individually from each application you have running on Windows. So you don't have to use the desktop audio function. You can actually separate the audio out from all of your running programs without using any sort of external service like Voicemeeter and without having to have a GoXLR. So this is very useful for streamers, or if you're doing a demonstration, perhaps you have a DAW loaded up and you'd like to play some audio through, but you don't want to have any chimes or notifications coming across. So a really useful application for a lot of people. Now, Wind Capture Audio has been available since August of 2021. It's gone through a few revisions. It's still in beta, but I found it to be very stable on my system, OBS Studio 27, Windows 10. Now, to install Wind Capture Audio, all you have to do is go to the OBS plugin site. I'll have a link in the description below. And once you're there, you're going to find the Wind Capture Audio. And this is version 2.0.0, beta 0.3. This may be a little further along by the time you're watching this video. But again, I found this version to be quite stable on my system. So to get this installed, all you need to do is go to download. So we'll click on that. And you'll see you have some options, and you can go ahead and download the setup file. That's all you're going to need. So we'll go ahead and save that file out. And once you've gone ahead and installed the plugin, you can launch OBS Studio. Okay, so now we've gone ahead and launched OBS Studio, and you can see I've just kind of set up a little bit of a demonstration here. Got a couple of video sources, one audio source showing. And of course, it's picking up the microphone. This is not the instance of OBS that I'm using to record this video. It's another one that I have running. But you can see I've just put a shot of my room cam up in the window here. But what's really interesting is that now when we go into sources, if we choose add, a new option here called application audio output capture has been added. So if I select that, I'll give this one a name. We'll call this one browser. And when I do that, it gives me a choice here. It says capture a specific window or capture the foreground window. So we're going to choose specific window because I want to capture the actual source, one application only here. So then for window, it's going to give me a list of everything that's running on my system right now. And you see I have an instance of Chrome running here, so I'll go ahead and select that. And then it gives me an option for match priority. And you have basically Windows title must match, and that's going to be very specific. It'll only work in the case of a browser for one individual web page. You can match the title, otherwise find the window of the same type. And in that case, what it's going to do is look for the title first, but if it can't find the exact same title, it'll match one that's a similar type. So again, it would be a type of browser. Or we can have match title, otherwise use the same executable. And that's the one I like to use because this way I can set up an audio capture where anything that I open up, in this case in Chrome, I'll be able to capture. And then I leave the recapture rate as it is, and I'll choose OK. And you'll see this is now added browser to the bottom here. So what I'll do is I'll bring up actually that browser, and I'll just go ahead and I won't leave it maximize. I'll just make it a little bit smaller and pull it off to the side. And I just happen to have Epidemic Sound loaded up here in that browser. And if I go ahead and choose to play one of the songs in here, you'll see that it's now showing that audio under the browser source that I've added. So I'm capturing the audio from this individual source here as far as Chrome is concerned. Now I could do the same thing with anything else in here. I could bring any web page up I want. Anytime I launch Chrome, it's now going to show up here. So that's a great use case for this. We'll go ahead and add one more. So if I go add, and I'll go over here to application audio capture again, and this time it's going to be audition, and I'll go OK. And the same thing here, I'm going to capture, in this case, a specific window, and it's going to, in this case, be Adobe Audition. And again, I want to find that executable. So anytime I'm going to launch Adobe Audition, I now have the option to bring this into OBS. So I've done that. You see auditions at the bottom. So we have that. And now if I click play in Audition, you'll see that that audio is being captured in OBS. So another really great use case for this. Now, I will bring up a point. When you're using a program like Audition that has built-in audio mapping, there can be issues, and I'll show you what I mean. For this demonstration, I have the audio hardware here set up to be MME device class, and you can see it's outputting on the system default. In this case, it's a Focusrite USB interface. And because of that, the output audio is mapped to, in fact, that interface. And so the application with an OBS will pick that up. If, on the other hand, we were using ASIO, which I commonly use with anything that is like a DAW, when you do that, you'll notice that the mapping has now changed to the ASIO channels. And I don't have the option to use the Windows audio here. It's going to be ASIO. So when I do that, if I now hit play, you'll notice it's not being captured down here. So there are some limitations to this. And I want to make you aware of those limitations because pretty much any program that's using Windows audio, so anything that can be mapped using the audio mapping within Settings panel in Windows, usually will work with this plugin. But if you have an application that has its own hardware audio mapping built in, like DAWs do, that if you're using ASIO, it's not going to be captured by this. And what I really like about this is the flexibility to bring in different audio sources, play them back at different levels, map them in and out of various monitor mixes in OBS. So, I mean, if you want to bring in Spotify, you want to bring in the YouTube Music app, you can do that. If you want to capture game audio only in the background for some reason, you can do that. If you're using OBS Ninja to bring video in and you want to go ahead and use audio from, say, Skype or another platform, you can bring the audio in from that. So a lot of options here. I mean, maybe you have an NDI camera, but you have a different audio source you want to bring in from an app that's open. So many, many use cases for this application audio capture. And at the time of recording, this is, of course, a Windows-only plugin. I know people have been asking for something similar on the Mac and on Linux, so I hope that happens in the near future. And for now, this is still in beta, but again, I've been using it for a while now, and I seem to have pretty stable results, which is why I thought I'd share it with you. Greater control over audio is something users have been asking for in OBS for a long time, and I think this plugin gets us one step closer. If you want to level up the audio in your OBS Studio streams and recordings, check out this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.